For our sponsor, Tile Warehouse Warners Bay. Open 7 days for your convenience.
It's 2 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Siobhan Caulfield with 2NURFM Hunter News. A letter signed in 2010 by Labor's transport spokeswoman indicated the party's support for the truncation of the rail line, as well as strong support from the public. Penny Sharp signed the letter addressed to the Fix Our City group, which outlined a vision for redeveloping Newcastle and included the rail line truncation. Liberal candidate for Newcastle Karen Howard says Labor's indecision demonstrated their lack of responsiveness to community members' needs.
Labor knew in 2010 that the right thing to do was to get on with the job of revitalising our city, and that means truncating the rail. Labor have failed to do what it knew was the right thing to do, and yet again are showing indecision.
Meanwhile, President of Save Our Rail, Joan Dawson, says Labor changed their mind on the view to cut the rail line due to careful consideration of the outcomes.
People are being delayed and late for work and having to make alternative arrangements in order to get to work on time. Students are being held back and late for lectures. They can't use the rail system. I believe the arts students at the Hunter TAFE finding it almost impossible to use the bus transfer. It's already having disadvantage to businesses as well.
The local Youth Action Election Forum for Newcastle and Lake Macquarie candidates is underway, with candidates addressing important issues for the upcoming state election. The Youth Forum has wrapped up in Cessnock, Dungog and Upper Hunter areas, providing important insight into the young people in the surrounding areas. Youth Action Policy Director Eamon Waterford says the forum will provide the youth a chance to connect with their local candidates.
Typically, young people often get ignored in state election campaigns. It's not uncommon that you don't hear any announcements about youth issues, and often the issues that really matter to young people are talked about, but not talked about in a way that young people can engage with the issues. So these sorts of events are really important because they give young people an opportunity to engage directly, face-to-face, with their candidates and to get their message across.
It's been predicted more than 10,000 hectares of land could be impacted by mines in the Hunter region, consumed as giant holes. The Independent Planning Assessment Commission has urged the government to undertake a study to investigate the cumulative impact of holes left by mines, with concerns about the region's water table and agriculture. The Commission has branded mining giant Rio Tinto's proposal for a 950-hectare final void at Mount Thorley unacceptable. A small cafe and juice bar at Blacksmith's Plains are under fire due to Lake Macquarie City Council's flood restrictions coming into effect. The space, to adhere with the restrictions, needs to be built 2 metres above sea level, which ignores its previous plan of 1.83 metres. Charlestown Liberal councillor Jason Pauling says the modification does not adhere with policy.
This particular application does not adhere in full with that policy. The applicant has returned seeking modifications to that consent to allow him to build an appropriate building that will allow him to fulfil his dream and service what he sees as a commercial opportunity in that area.
Much-needed government funding has been welcomed by the Lakes Beach Surf Lifesaving Club this morning to restore its amenities. $33,000 has been put towards upgrading their radio room and restoring their facilities to help make their rescue jobs run more smoothly. MP for Swansea Gary Edwards says this kind of funding will boost morale at the club.
$33,000 will go a long way to improving facilities for our heroes of the surf down there. It's always something we enjoy doing very much, is supporting our surf club. Being a former surf lifesaver myself, I know how difficult it is for clubs to raise funds, so it's always a pleasure for us to help our surf clubs.
Enrolments at Hunter TAFE are lagging, with the new online enrolment system being dubbed confusing. As the Baird government's Smart and Skilled program goes underway, a large number of students have been unable to keep on top of course fees, and only 15,000 of the 60,000 students expected to enrol have done so. Member for the Greens John Kay says he is anxious students will continue to suffer under the Smart and Skilled program.
The Baird government needs to recognise that Hunter TAFE and all the other institutes around New South Wales are in crisis mode. He needs to immediately remove the Smart and Skilled training market and go back to the old software. Without a immediate action to protect TAFE, we're concerned that by mid-year it'll be in a really dangerous situation.
In finance, the All Ords is down 79.4 points at 57.89, and $1 Australian dollar is buying 76.93 US cents. Now with sport, Belinda Dallas Harris.
Waratah Mayfield are pushing to make a return to the Newcastle Rugby League by 2017, the team's first time back in the competition since folding mid-season in 2004. It comes after Port Stephens suffered a similar fate, collapsing 2 weeks ago to leave an opening for the Cheetahs. Negotiations are already underway with sponsors to ensure the club's financial sustainability, with a mass recruitment drive set up to field firsts, reserves, open age and under-19s. The Newcastle Jets are feeling the pressure of another slim defeat on the back of last round's heartbreaking loss to Sydney. The club is still fighting to secure only its second win of the season, with 13 players coming off contract and just 7 games to go. It's been almost 3 months since the side's last victory, with a 2-1 win against Adelaide. And in golf, the Vintage have defeated Muswellbrook 4-3 in the Bettington Cup final at Maitland's Hunter River District A-grade pennants competition. That's sport. I'm Belinda de las Heras.
2NURFM news time is 2:05.